Okay, thank you for your patience. We are ready to begin now. Welcome to all of you. We've got a good crowd today. And I'd like to begin by standing for a moment of silence, and we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can we have a roll call, please?
Tom Eggers?
Here.
Wayne Barahona?
Here.
Pete Hamill?
Here.
Ken Snyder?
Here.
Brad Hint?
Here.
All right, moving on then to our item 2, approval of the agenda. I'll take a motion for that.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Snyder?
Aye.
Hamill?
Aye.
Eggers?
Aye.
Barahona?
Aye.
Hint?
Aye.
All right, today we are going to be swearing in Officer Greg Jacobsema as the newest member of the police department. I'd ask that you join me at the podium, Greg, and give Scott here. Yeah, Scott here too, so good. Raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Greg Jacobsema,
I, Greg Jacobsema,
do solemnly swear
that
I will uphold all the laws of the Constitution of the United States,
I will uphold all laws of the Constitution of the United States,
the state of Iowa, and the city of Sheldon.
the state of Iowa, and the city of Sheldon.
I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties of the office of police officer
discharge all duties of the office of police officer
for the city of Sheldon, Iowa,
for the city of Sheldon, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, Officer Jacobsema. I don't.
I know, I should probably do that.
Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, we've now moved into the public forum portion of our meeting. Is there anyone here that would like to address the council at this time for items either on or off the agenda? If you're not a presenter, now would be the time. If it's on the agenda and you want to present, speak to something, then yes, Lamar, step forward, please. State your name.
Yeah, Marvin Reese in Sheldon, Iowa. I couldn't help but resist. I think they look like triplets up there, police officers. That would have cost me a ticket for sure if I did. But anyhow, the reason I'm here again this month, I want to get some real concerns. I was here last month. Since last month, about this ambulance bill thing, about Bill and Sanford. We've been going through losing approximately 8,000 to 10,000 a month. And we've been messing with this thing a good number of months. I requested to have this on the agenda. It hasn't been so done. I called her and didn't hear anything. I don't know what it takes to get on the agenda to get this thing. I want you guys to vote on this thing. This should not be shoved on a so-called ad hoc committee to decide, because it's politically, so it doesn't look political, whether they should get a bill or not. It's a simple thing. I got the figures from our ambulance personnel, and when you look at the expenditures and how much it costs for an ambulance is $200,000, another $50,000 to fill it up. So about $250,000 we have tied up in each ambulance. We have 3 of them. We have excellent personnel. We have the buildings, we got insurances and all this. And then I looked at what they were charging for a transfer. And when you look at that, it really is not that much. It's about $2,000, whatever it is, for a transfer. The problem is that I know that they're taking off Medicare and all this other stuff. We're taking the hit for that when they should. They're using our services. Sanford is using our services, and we got to get paid for that. There's no way that Sanford can do that for what we're doing it for. I'll guarantee you. I've been in business 40 years, and I checked around different areas, people who run ambulance deals. There's no way they can do that for what we're doing it for. Sanford should pay. The answer is simple, Councilman. Send the bill to Sanford, have them pay it. If they don't want to pay it, we'll have to serve them notice that we'll terminate doing their transfers. Let them do it themselves. They can find somebody else. Simple as that. That's the way they do business. If you don't pay your bill up there, trust me, I know what they do. I didn't have the privilege when I had surgery on my neck to go and negotiate that with, if I say I'm not going to pay that. It didn't work that way. Anyhow, it's the councilman's responsibility to do this. Give Sam or whoever the direction to send the bill out and get it paid. Simple as that. That's all I'm asking. I think it's only fair. The taxpayers can't continually and go on this way with subsidizing Sanford. When we have patients out there in town, borrow money even, I found out now, to pay their bill, their ambulance bill and stuff. That's true. And they're taxpayers. And guess what? Sanford pays 0 property tax. You know that? You know that? They pay 0 sales tax. Because they're tax exempt. Is that fair to the citizens of Sheldon when you're looking at double rate and inflation the way it is and things going up? I don't think that's fair, particularly for those older people that cannot afford the extra insurance above Medicare, a supplement, because they still have to pay people, and that's what's wrong. So I just encourage the council to take this up next month. Now, give me notice, hopefully you put it on the agenda next month to vote on this, to send them a bill. Simple as that. If they don't want to do it, I guess we'll have to deal with that a couple months down the road. That's fair. Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Marv. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the council at this time? All right, then we will move on to the consent agenda. I'll take a motion for approval of that.
So move. Support.
Any discussion there?
I would like to remove one and put it on the regular agenda.
Okay, and that would be which item, Ken?
Item, well, whichever one it would be, D or E?
E.
What? E.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. All right, so the consent agenda minus item 5E. We'll take a motion, or we've had a motion and approval. Take roll call on that, please.
Are they okay with amending the motion? Because the motion was made before Ken asked to be removed. Just
But-
a formality.
Yeah, but I don't think
Okay.
they can take that off regardless. If it wants to be
Okay.
discussed, that's
I'm
not a
just-
debatable. So, okay.
Farahona?
Aye.
Hamel?
Aye.
Hint?
Aye.
Snyder?
Aye.
Eggers?
Aye.
All right, then we'll deal with the 5E at this time. Floor is yours.
Okay, that's concerning the beer garden in the park, and which we've already went against our policy and gave them a 1-day acceptance for alcohol in the city park. And I brought it up at that time that I have been approached by many people against that, and that's okay. It was voted down. I was outvoted. But now I was told that we have hard liquor. Up to that point, I think they said 5%. Now, hard liquor is, we've been asked to approve that for a day. And in a family atmosphere with kids and everything, I have talked to some of the officers, and there were problems before with the 5%. I can only see this being worse. Plus, if we're counting this as a family outing with kids and everything, I just do not think there's plenty. I'm not saying people can't drink. We have so many places in town, they can go have their drink. I'm not saying throw out all the liquor, but I'm just saying in our city park, we've already moved down one step, and I even said that the last time when it was approved. It's a slippery slope. We'll always come up with an excuse for something else, and it just keeps getting lower and lower. And so I just want to express that I do not believe in our city park with a family event that we should have that.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this at this time?
I'd say in light of the due diligence that was being done on behalf of the committee and on behalf of the SEDC, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this item E as stated.
Okay.
Second.
Further discussion? We
I
have a
think,
motion and a second.
talking to Chad, it's just going to be one beverage that they're going to have that night.
And that is a contractual requirement of the band.
Contractual
that is
requirement.
playing.
You have to be 21 to get in to the event,
Correct.
from what I was told from Chad the other day.
Yep, this 21 plus event.
And that's fine, one step at a time, little by little, and that's how things happen. We can always find some excuse for things, but we have a policy in our city. We've already taken one step back from it, and now you're asking to take another one, and I just don't think it's right. Before I came here, I guess this was over someone has got this out, because I was approached before I even got into the thing by two people, just 5 minutes before I got here, and said that's absolutely wrong. And I have already been approached by other people. So I'm just expressing, well, it's become a large percentage in Sheldon. And if they want that one particular drink, I'm sure it could be served in town. It could be even stated at the concert. But I'm just saying, it's wrong. And I don't think it's right. And next year we'll find another excuse and another excuse.
All right. Any other comments? All right, then I'm going to call for the question. We have the motion on the floor. Can you read that for us again, Ann? Do you have it down? Motion made.
To approve the liquor license?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have an item to approve, item 5E. Take roll call, please.
Eggers?
Aye.
Hamel?
Aye.
Snyder?
Nope.
Farahona?
Aye.
Hint?
Aye.
All right. That moves us on to item number 7. First item under there, item A, is the $3.5 million general obligation capital loan notes. We have a resolution directing that acceptance to proposal to purchase them. Anything you would like to add at this time, Sam?
Pleased with our A+ rating, and we're ready to move forward.
Move to accept as proposed.
To approve the resolution?
Correct.
Okay.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
All right.
These can be both voted on at the same time,
Oh.
one and two. Under B.
Okay, as far as the plans and specs. Okay, item B is the plans and specs for the 2022 water system improvements. One is for, I'll let you address this, Todd.
Yeah, sure. We have Logan with DGR Engineering here with us tonight. He'll give you some insight on both projects.
Thanks, Todd. Good afternoon, Council. Logan Smith, DGR Engineering. I've been with DGR for a little over 10 years here, but I think this is the first council meeting I've been to, so it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, so I believe you should have received a link to the plans and specs that we have completed for the 2022 Water System Improvements Project. That includes about 6,800 feet of a combination of 10-inch and 12-inch PVC pipeline. The small amount of 12 inches to go to the tower, but the majority of that is 10-inch. In addition to that, for the elevated water storage tank, that's a 500,000 gallon tank. And at this time, the plans are prepared in a way that we're going to bid two alternative styles of tanks there. Both a single pedestal style of tank, which is kind of the golf ball on a tee that you've seen around the countryside. And then there's also a composite style that we're going to bid kind of head-to-head with each other and then evaluate them after the fact. The composite has a concrete pedestal and then a steel container on the top of it. You've maybe seen some of them around too. In addition to that, there's some other ancillary work that will be in those contracts for controls, how those towers will fill and work together with your existing. Just to give you an update on other progress that we're making there, we do have construction permits submitted into the county. Those have been reviewed and approved from the county. We have easements secured along the route of the pipeline or the permits from the county where we are in the county ditch. The DNR, they have to review a construction permit for the water supply side of things. That's actively under review. We expect that to come in here soon, within the next couple weeks probably. And we have a permit from the FAA. We have to apply for a permit from the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, as well, due to the height of the structure. Their review took a little bit of time there, but one of the conditions of that permit is that we have a red and white light on top of the tower. So it's better than having to paint the tower a bunch of checkerboard orange patterns that they do require in some cases. So here we're just having a red and white flashing light on the top of the tower. As far as schedule goes, plan is to advertise for bids here within the next 1 to 2 weeks. The bid letting we have set for September 29th. We'll have two bid lettings, two separate contracts there. One being the pipeline contract that will be held at 1:30 p.m. and then we will have a second bid letting at 2:30 p.m. for the water tower contract. Following that, we will have the public hearing for the project at your October 5th council meeting. The plan there, the 4:30 p.m. start time. As far as construction goes, there could be some that starts this fall, but more than likely we anticipate most of that happening next year by the time we get contracts executed and shop drawings reviewed, so on and so forth. Completion dates we have set for October of next year for the pipeline portion of that project, and the tower is for June of 2024. So a little bit of time there between the two. The tower's just a little more work there that they need to do to get that up and commissioned and painted in time to get that operational. I heard you talk about your bond resolution there. I think that's related to this. As far as costs go, our most recent cost estimate that we prepared there was total project cost. We were looking at somewhere in the range of $3.6 to $3.7 million. That's including engineering services, other legal, fiscal costs that you have associated with projects of this nature. So that's kind of where we're at. We still feel pretty comfortable with that number. Steel prices have been fairly stable over the course of the past few weeks and months here. So that's a good sign, and I have heard the demand for steel is not high right now, so that should help keep prices stable. That's the update that I have. Anything you want to add there, Todd, or any questions anybody has?
Anyone? Tom, are you hearing all of this?
I am.
Okay, good.
Very good. Very clear.
All right, hearing no questions, thank you for being with us today, giving us that update.
Thank you.
And we can approve both of these projects with one motion. We don't have to do these separately, I'm told. So I would entertain a motion to approve the plans and specs for the pipeline project as well as the water tower.
Make the motion to approve those plans and specifications.
Support. Okay, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
All right, then let's move on to item C, the presentation on redevelopment of the former Bethel church site. We have with us Casey Sheldon, Phil Dorr, and Adam Timmerman with, is it Cap Investments?
Cap Builders.
Cap Builders. All right.
Well, thank you, council. We appreciate it. On behalf of Cap Builders, I'm Casey Shelton. Back here, this gorgeous man is Adam Timmerman, and the even more handsome man, Phil Dorr, excuse me. Wanted to talk to you today about a revitalization of the Bethel church site. What we're looking to propose is bring on, if you don't mind, I'm going to walk over here. Please let me know, Tom,
Use the
if you
handheld
can't
mic
hear
if you
me.
do that.
Oh, you got it. Okay,
Yep, yep.
perfect. Thank you. So what we have is we're looking to propose to bring on 14, that you can consider them single-family lots. And what these will be are townhome lots. Basically, you'll have three bedroom units on the ends with 2 bedrooms in the middle. If you wouldn't mind, Todd, showing a picture of kind of what these look like, I want to give you an idea of what these units look like. These are currently some that I am currently building in West Des Moines, Iowa. As you can see, we build with a very nice product. We have hardy plank on the outside, real stone, and then if you look into the inside, we've got a very nice high-level finish with matte black hardware, LVP throughout the units, and carpet. The appliances will come in the units. We will offer the refrigerator, the microwave, the stove, and the dishwasher. They will also come with quartz countertops. So basically, the 2-bedroom units on an unfinished basement are 1,478 square feet. The 3-bedroom units will be roughly around 1,615 square feet. The cost of these units, we are one to work with you and partner in with the community, and that's why we are here today to ask if you would participate in the development costs, because what we are trying to do is make these an affordable housing option for the community. With that being said, our hope is that we can get our 3-bedroom units at a price point just below $300,000 and our 2-bedroom units at a cost just below $280,000 per unit. Now that comes without a finished basement. If you are looking to finish the basement, we will finish the basement, which would give you an additional 700 square feet for an additional $30,000, which would give you another bedroom, a full bathroom, and another living room. And with that, what we are asking is, if you go back to the site plan, please, Todd. As you guys are well aware, the Bethel Church sat on this site. It has now been removed. You have a raw piece of dirt sitting here. In order for us to do what we need to do on this site, we need to put a street through the middle of this. And with that, that's where we are asking for a $450,000 TIF agreement paid out over 3 years. And those 3 years, it sounds like your guys' fiscal years would be in July, so every July, $150,000 would be paid back towards Cap Builders, and we will put in all of this infrastructure. We need to put in new sewer, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water, and paving would all be done within this road on the current Bethel site. So with that being said, that's where we are asking for the $450,000 of TIF to help us back the Bethel site and turn it into housing within the community. And we believe we fit very nice with what's all surrounding there in the community today.
As far as the infrastructure, the water and sewer, would that service both sides of the street?
Yes, sir. So the water and the sewer and everything will go through the middle of the street, and it will service all 14 units.
Okay.
And when talking with Todd and with all the engineers involved in the project, the current infrastructure that is in place by the city on both streets can handle our capacity that we would be bringing on with 14 units.
Okay.
In regards to the road that is going to be constructed, will that be constructed with the same spec that what we normally do with our city roads? Or is this going to be more of a private drive type situation?
It will be a private drive. We are not going to be following the city SUDA specs. So it will be a private drive, which we will have to maintain as part of a homeowners association on this site.
All right, thank you.
They will be held privately by the association? Okay.
So there's nothing we have to do at all with our existing system?
No, they will tie into our existing system with their infrastructure.
Okay. I mean, there won't be any cost to us above the 450,000? Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just a question, please, regarding clarification of the association. These properties will be individually sold and a title, or will be just like a regular separate home that would be applied to this? And the association fee is something that is agreed upon during the sale, or am I misunderstanding?
No, you are correct, Tom. Each one of these lots are individually deeded, so each homeowner owns the ground underneath their home, and then they will partake in an association to help with lawn care, snow removal, insurance of the exterior of the home, and then a reserve at some point in the future. Obviously, the siding and roof might need to be replaced, but that's what the association will take care of. And that fee will be determined by us before selling those to the individuals.
Yeah, so but it'll be a condition of sale, though, is they have to join the association.
Yes, sir. And the way that I currently have it set up is I have it set up on an ACH because I don't really want to go knock on everybody's door and chase them. So it'll be set up on an ACH from their account monthly. Typically, the association fees will run anywhere from $95 to $125 a month.
Okay, thanks for the clarity on that.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Yes.
And the diagonal parking on the south side, that your proposal is for that to stay?
Correct. That would be used as visitor parking. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And as you can see, we do have our own detention on site, and that's what's in these areas over. Those two areas will basically be green spaces that will also serve as detention areas as well for the site. So we will be able to detain on site, which will allow us to choke down the water to allow it to come into the storm sewer system. So we are not going to overload. Ken, I know you had a question about your existing infrastructure. This will help by choking that down to getting it from a big mass down to a smaller pipe, which will feed into your guys' storm sewer system.
All right. And you have similar units going up in Des Moines area now, is that
Yes,
correct?
I've
Urbandale?
built roughly over 1,000 of these total to date.
Wow. So you got it down by now.
I don't know that I have it down 100%, but it's not my first rodeo.
Okay, very good. All right.
And I will also say this, I know I'm coming from out of town, I know Adam and Phil are from up here, but my goal is to work with everybody within the community. That is my number one goal.
Okay.
I want to be a participant in the community, just like Adam and Phil. We want this to be a community project. And so I will tell you, as of right now, everybody that I'm talking to contractor-wise is everybody local up here in northwest Iowa. I'm not trying to bring anybody in. I know that becomes somewhat of a sore subject with a lot of the local contractors, but that's not my hope at all. I want to work with everybody locally and allow them to bid on the project and be a part of the project, because I am telling you I want to be a part of the community and I want them to accept us into the community.
Very good. Appreciate that. Anything else?
I was asked something.
Yeah, another question for clarity.
Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry, did someone else speak? Go ahead if you did.
You've got seniority.
Okay, thanks, Ken. I just wanted to make sure that everything we're talking about here today with this project, I just want to make sure that it's based upon our project, because I had heard that at one time that the viability of the Sheldon project might be tied to the viability of the like project over in Orange City. Is there any validity to that, or is ours standalone?
You're a standalone. I can tell you I received a phone call before this, Orange City, asking me where I'm at, and I said I'm going to a city council meeting for Sheldon. I got to worry about Sheldon. I'll worry about Orange City later.
Okay, so this doesn't hinge upon whether Orange City approves or doesn't approve that.
No, sir.
Thanks for the clarity on that.
Ken, you were going to ask something.
Just, somebody approached me today with the question, and you said affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that affordable for Sheldon, Iowa? You built these in Des Moines. Of course,
Correct.
the cost of living up there. And maybe the realtors that we have could answer that better. What is affordable housing
I mean, I think
in
I
our
would,
area?
Gene, I mean, if Gene could or somebody else could help speak to that. Yeah, I think they're,
Gene, if you would, please come forward and address it on the mic so that Tom can hear you.
I think, we haven't obviously prepared what we're going to say with that, but I think we're on the same page. Sheldon, the inventory that we have for housing is just extremely low. And is that 280 to 300 mark a little bit on the higher side of some? Possibly, but I think the demand for housing is so great that I think the need is there, and I think the housing will sell. I don't think they're all going to sell immediately, but I think over time, I do think there's a market for it.
Yeah, I do also. I think we'll see maybe a number of senior people be involved in these, and at 280 to 300, there's a demand for that. And we've got other condos available in town, and there's just nothing for sale. But we're having a demand for them, aren't we? So
And I guess just one example, I have two people, one in specific that I think every Sunday morning asks me, do I have the information?
Gene,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but could you step closer to the mic? I'm having a hard time hearing.
Okay, I was going to give one example that I have an individual that's asking me virtually every time they see me, do I have the specs, do I have the information, do I have the price, is it going to be 2-bedroom or they're going to be 3? There better be a 3-bedroom, and so I think, will that person wind up buying? Words are easy, but still that just tells me that demand is there.
I would agree.
So Gene, would you say that the price per square foot is competitive to other new build in Sheldon?
I think so. I mean, the unit that Casey is talking about, I actually went and saw them in Des Moines, and, you know, he talked about the quartz countertops and that amount per square foot. I understand, you know, with building costs the way they are, you know, yeah, we would like things to be cheaper, that's no doubt, but they are made of extremely high quality, in my opinion.
And
Thank
I
you.
think that price per square foot is really in line. If you look at building a single home, that cost goes up considerably. And I think you're getting more efficient with these units, of course.
Okay.
That should answer the question I was asked.
All right. Mike, if you would just kind of walk through the process on this, how this is going to all play out?
Certainly. Given the request for the TIF-based financing, if the council wants to move forward with that, which is the request of the developer, then there'll be a contract for development. There's been some preliminary discussions on that, including between myself and the developer's attorney. And under the TIF rules, under Chapter 403, that contract for development would have to be set for a public hearing and would be considered by the council after that public hearing. The tentative plan, as I understand it, is to have that hearing at the end of September or perhaps early October. The contract for development would map out this payment structure, the $450,000 over 3 installments. There would be certain tax covenants and things that you would typically see in a contract for development. And as I understand the proposal, it would be backed by a very significant minimum assessment agreement, which is where in a TIF program, the taxing authority, the city, has the opportunity to earn that investment back. So that's the gist of what this looks like from a TIF perspective. So today, you're hearing a proposal, but final action on the contract for development and that piece of it has to go through certain hoops, including that public hearing, which we'll tentatively have that pegged in for later in September, perhaps early October.
Okay. Any questions for Micah based on what he's just telling us? So if we choose to move forward with this, I think a motion would be in order for that. Then the next step, it goes to planning and zoning. They meet on August 30. The day after that, it goes to the Board of Adjustment. We would then set a hearing on this subdivision for September 7 is potentially the date scheduled right now. We would also set a hearing on the developer's agreement. And then 2 weeks later, we would have a hearing on the subdivision or possibly the first meeting in October.
So you need a motion to proceed with the project?
I think that would be in order, yes.
So move.
Support.
Further discussion?
We're not approving the project.
No.
No.
Right.
We're proving the process of getting it down, really, right, pursuing the process is what we're really approving.
I think those approvals will come as we vote on all this other stuff. So I guess I don't know why we really have to have a motion for it tonight. Because we have formalities that gotta happen in order for it to take place.
Mm-hmm.
Motion tonight, what good is it?
I think it shows a sign of support of the council for first thing. It's requested by our city manager, so therefore I'm asking for it. Yes.
You're not approving the project, Brad. What you're doing is you're authorizing the expenditure of further staff and city resources to proceed with the negotiation and getting ready for the hearing process.
We'd do that anyway. On any other projects, they do it anyway.
That's up to you.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not against the project, but I just don't really understand why we have to have a motion. That should all come down the road as we
No.
approve the plans.
We have the
That's
motion on the
okay.
floor. We
That's
have a
fine.
second for it. Any other discussion?
I do have one other question. The time frame. When did it plan and to start, and when would you be completed with it all?
The plan is to start, I'm working right now with all the utility contractors and the grading contractors. Based upon when we can have council approval, I'm still hoping to plan to start in October. As you know, when we start in October, we're getting late in the season. I've talked to the contractors I've been speaking to locally. 2 out of the 3 right now say they can get there still in October. The third one's supposed to let me know by the end of the week. I know there's a couple more that we are going to possibly go out to. But the plan would be yet this year to get all the mass grading done, get the public utilities in the ground. Come next spring, we are paving as soon as the weather allows, and then we are going vertical.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, based upon even Gene's comment, I'm not going to bring on all 14 at once. I want to bring on basically lots 7 through 14 to allow us to build up some momentum into the project, and it'll make sure that we are making this project a go. Then we will flip over and do lots 1 through 6.
Okay.
So I'm not going to bring all 14 on at once. So the plan would be build 7 through 14. As long as those 7 through 14 are moving, which we believe they will be, we will turn around as those are starting to go vertical and sales are happening, we'll turn over and flip over and build 1 through 6. Typical build cycle on one of these units from start to finish when going vertical is roughly 4 months. Now, I don't know that being up here with the amount of trades and all the bodies that I'll need on a project like that. So, but a typical build from start to finish when going vertical is 4 months.
Thank you.
If I might.
Yes.
Casey?
Oh, yeah, and that one thing we are doing in the interim this winter is we are working on a 3D concept, working right now on basically taking these units where somebody can visually see them and see what they are going to look like. So hopefully during the winter we are pre-selling these, and if we are pre-selling them through the winter, we will definitely go ahead and then start digging 1 through 6 at the same time.
Sam, you had a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. One of the things you and I had talked about, you'd mentioned in one of our conversations that you were thinking about bringing up your own framer. And you mentioned this earlier that you're going to use a lot of local, but were you looking at doing some of the framing locally too, or were you thinking
I'm trying
about bringing your own?
everything local right now.
That's great.
If I find a shortfall somewhere, we will have to bring in outside sources. But my goal is to find as many local bodies as I can to be involved in the project. Yeah, and we do have some local bodies on the ground that I'm working with. Some folks out of Orange City that are going to help be boots on the ground for us up here. And so they will be, I can't obviously be here every day, but they will be overseeing the project and looking at it and making sure things are being done the way that we need them to be done on the project. Yes, I don't know if they wanted us to bring their names up. It's Glenn and Wally out of Orange City, so they're very locally known folks from the area.
All right, I think we've pretty much got everything covered, unless somebody has something yet. I'm going to call for the question otherwise. Take a roll call, please.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hand.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Very good. Casey, Adam, Phil, thanks for being here today. We appreciate your investment that you're looking to bring into this community, and we look forward to seeing that thing coming out of the ground and getting on the tax rolls.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Moving on then to item 8A, there's a report on fireworks. Who's going to do that? You?
I can start it off.
Okay.
So the report that I link to the agenda is very similar to the report several weeks ago. There's several options for you to consider, and these are in no particular order. You could keep the ordinance as is and determine the resources necessary for more enforcement. You can amend the ordinance to keep the time frame and eliminate certain types of fireworks. You can amend the ordinance to reduce the time frame to, let's say, July, with the late night being on July 3, and shorten the winter season, which isn't widely used anyway. Or you could consider an all-out ban like Archer or Spencer.
All right. Chief Birch?
I think saying I have a report is kind of a little overstatement. I don't really have a report. Just we had 5 calls within that short period. They're all January 1 through January 4th was it. So we had 5 complaints. We went around ourselves and told people to stop fireworks, and for the most part, everybody did.
Issued no citations, though?
Nope.
Do you think a citation with a fine would send a message that we need to adhere to the standards that have been laid out?
No. I think if we get people to comply just by telling them and they do it, that's just as good as a citation, so.
Okay.
Like I said, when we went around and told people to stop, they did, so. As long as they stopped and, you know, we got compliance, that's what we wanted, so.
Any other questions?
Are we looking to make a decision on this today?
You could provide initial direction if you'd like. There's not an ordinance in front of you, but there's options. Give us some guidance.
With the calls we get, I can't believe you only got 5.
Yep.
And that was in January, not 4th of July?
No, that was 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
But it was just in a short time frame. It was only like 3 days, 4 days we got them, so.
Wow.
So even though it was a longer period.
That myself personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went back and looked, so that's all we had.
So Chief,
Yeah.
if I may ask, what were the complaints specifically?
Just fireworks after hours.
Fireworks after hours?
Yep.
Okay. Nothing about fireworks encroaching property or endangerment
Nope, we
by
did
the
not have
use
it.
of fireworks or anything like that?
Nope, we didn't have any of those.
Just after the 11 o'clock ordinance?
The 10 o'clock ones.
No, 10 o'clock.
Yep.
That's right. Thank you.
My recommendation would be to shorten the season from July 1 to July 4th, the 4th being the long day, and then only on the 31st.
You mean the third?
The third be the long day.
Third would be the long
Right.
one, sorry. I overread that. And then 31st in December. That's what I hear, a lot of people want it shortened, the time frame of when you can shoot them off. And that's the direction I'd want to go.
I would agree with that as well.
100%.
Yeah, I would too.
So I guess you guys can work there.
Now, on the 31st, what is the time? Because usually they go off at midnight.
I don't
Yep.
remember.
I think 12:30.
Most people don't work the next day, so that's maybe not as
Okay.
serious as July 5.
So do we have a later date, a later time frame for that 31st amount?
Let me pull up the winter rules. I've got them linked.
Could I ask a question while you're doing that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Chief?
Yeah.
If a citation was given, what is the penalty? What's the...
I'd have to double
Penalty.
check, but I think it's $250 fine.
It's $250?
Yep.
And to date, we have not offered a ticket to anybody over the past 2 years or 3 years.
I couldn't speak for 3 years, but 2, no.
Okay.
So Chief, do you have the discretion to, let's say to somebody, it took me half an hour to find you, and I'm not going to give you a $250 ticket, but, you know, I'm going to write you up for $100 because there's a cost for me to have gotten the call and spent as much time looking for you as I did.
I don't think so. I think we'd have to do the full citation because it's in the ordinance. So I don't think I have the discretion to change the price of the fine.
You asked them to quit, and they did. But is that you giving them grace, or you could have written a citation?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it would be the same as someone speeding, you know? It's up to the officer if they're 5 over, you know, whether or not they want to write a citation, so. Yeah, the goal is to get compliance, so if people stopped, we said, we appreciate it, you're done.
Okay. I'll remember that speeding someday.
I said discretion, you might not get it.
Speeding's easier to prove.
Yeah, exactly. And that is part of it too, is so, you know, if we started citing people, who do you cite? Do you cite everybody that's lighting fireworks, the homeowner? I think you'd probably get a lot of calls over that.
So do we need to change our ordinance?
Just my opinion, I agree to shorten it, and I don't know if you do a happy medium and extend the hours. Because one thing I did notice, at 10 o'clock, it wasn't really dark yet, so.
There was a question.
So another question when you have time, Mayor.
Go ahead, Tom.
So this is a question to the council. How many contacts have been made to us as a group regarding this issue? We know that there's been 5 from the police department. How many contacts have we gotten as a group? I've gotten none. I'll start. I got 0.
Okay. I've had less than 5. I want to say 3 that I can think of.
That one?
3 people that have contacted me, may made comments about fireworks. Some of it was even kind of in passing, not a specific complaint, just wish they wouldn't, you know.
Why did they pick on me then?
I don't know, how many have you had?
I'm going to guess. I'll be conservative. 12 to 15, maybe. I think it was more than that.
Okay.
Probably had 10.
Well, and I don't know. I don't care what you do, you're going to get some some
Yeah, you're going to.
pushback.
Either way. We lose on this either way.
Out of 5,000 to 6,000 people, that's not a huge number.
How many have you had, Pete? None?
Other than my wife.
She's got to count for at least 2.
Man, you would vote for removal.
And Wayne,
So-
have you had any?
Less than 5.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked the question is I want to make sure that we're taking action on something that that is broad enough in scope to warrant the action. And so I question, with as many as we've gotten, I counted maybe less than 25. Are we needing to look at a change in the ordinance based upon that? And also based upon the fact that the police feel that warnings is the most effective way of deterring, and apparently has been successful. So are we really needing to change the ordinance at this point? I mean, this hasn't been brought to us at the podium by a citizen saying, I want the ordinance changed. That's my question to the council. Sorry I can't be there in person to do this, but I got to ask the question.
Two comments, one being if you have less than 25, there are several more that haven't complained that would probably be in support of those that have issued their complaints. But what
I
that
don't
number
know
is
how
is
we
hard to
would
say.
track that, Mayor.
I know, it's really hard to predict, but it would definitely be
I
more.
don't want to get into assumptions here. That's my problem. with it.
Yes, but I would guess.
I
if
don't
it-
want to assume we have a problem until we have a problem.
Right. And if we were to push the issue, I would guess there would be comments made from the other side saying we need to continue to offer the same time frame for fireworks as we have, that
I've had
Right.
two.
people speaking in support of it.
I've had two that way,
Okay? So I mean,
Personally.
so yes, there are comments to that effect as well.
but they don't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work like the ones who complain.
And there are some that are actually doing business in Sheldon for fireworks. So we have that added aspect too, that not only, are we looking at being a good neighbor, but also this is going to affect someone's livelihood too.
Right. You think the shorter time would cut back their sales?
I would think so. Less time, less boom.
They just have bigger boom and tighter time frame maybe.
Sam, you started by asking for direction. Based on the conversation thus far, do you have enough to work with?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think three of us were in favor of, maybe even Pete was in favor of shortening the time frame. I do believe we all kind of nodded our head when we said.
Right.
I mean, I'll make a motion to shorten the time period if we need a motion.
What was
Sure.
your days?
July 1 through 4.
With the long day on the third,
drastic.
right?
And December 31.
If I might, I think a motion to ask for the drafting with, as Brad is talking, I think that gives me some guidance, and then you have an opportunity with 3 readings to
Vote it up or down.
amend it, but I think that's a good
Okay,
idea,
we'll
to
get
have some
comments.
sort of a motion with some broad parameters.
Maybe Greg can get some more comments to him then.
So this certainly may. And that's why.
That's why we do
That's why
it.
we're discussing it. But I would like to hear from the public, yes. So,
So in that, I would make the motion to give Sam direction to change the fireworks ordinance from July 1st through the 4th, the 3rd being the late night, and December 31st.
the current December 31st is just from 12 to 12:30.
12:30.
Okay,
So
we have a
so
motion.
what would constitute the council actually approving whatever Sam comes up with? Because the way I'm understanding this, Brad, is you're just saying you're approving him going ahead with looking at an ordinance change as you just outlined.
Yes, him moving forward to doing the paperwork, the legal side of it, to bring it back us for the 3 readings.
Okay, so the public would have opportunity to address this possibly three times
Yes.
before we would take any action of approving any change there.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So we have a motion, we need a second.
I'll support.
Okay? Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Farahona,
Aye.
Eggers,
Aye.
Hint,
Aye.
Hamel,
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. All right, moving on. Anything else in your report that you'd like to discuss now?
I do not.
Todd, anything from you?
No, thank you.
I have a question for you. Will we have the streets completed by our celebration? The downtown streets?
What's your definition of downtown streets?
Say
The
again?
HMA project or the alley project?
Well, primarily the parade route, I guess, is the one I'm concerned about.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
They're scheduled to pave actually Thursday and Friday.
Oh, great.
If it rains on Friday, then it'll be Monday.
Yep.
School starts on Tuesday, so I'm a little nervous about St. Pat's, but that's the current schedule.
Okay, very good. Kurt, anything from you?
I just wanted to, just FYI, we did receive a tip application, so it'll be on the council agenda for September 7th. So I just wanted to bring that to light at this point.
Okay. Anything further you have, Scott? Okay. Ange?
No, thank you.
Micah?
No.
Counsel to my left.
Nope.
To my right?
Nope.
Or listening in by Zoom? Anything from you,
No,
Tom?
Nothing from me. Nothing from me.
Okay, very good. All right. Mentioned Labor Day, our Labor Day celebrations. SEDC is in need of volunteers. If we could get that word out for people to help with, it takes people to put on an event like this, so, and Sheldon is good about stepping up, but there's been some pleas recently from the SEDC office, so that's my one comment. If you could help out in some way, that would be wonderful. And that's all I have.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Support. Roll call, please.
Eggers,
Aye.
Kent,
Aye.
Snyder.